Fair Share Trust population of the 3 wards, Marsden, Southfield and Walverden, is just under 12,500. There are significant issues of deprivation in the area. A lot of the housing was built in the 19th century to house the workers of the then booming cotton mills and coal mines in that area. Obviously those jobs have now gone. In the last sort of 25 years that's accelerated as the younger people who are more educated and brighter have left the area and gone away. The priorities were providing a safe, clean environment for the area, improving levels of engagement and participation, improving the overall health of the local residents, and the last one was about increasing access to training, with the overall aim of that being that people get a better chance in life. Projects would be delivered within the 3 wards, but obviously the organisations then looked at the successes and wanted to replicate that throughout Pendle and beyond in some cases, so that everybody was getting those same benefits.
I think inevitably the key achievement is that we've been able to bring such a substantial investment into the Fair Share Trust areas. I think we have now stronger local organisations. We've got more skilled individuals, both paid staff and volunteers within those organisations.
I'm retired and I'm just a volunteer here. We supply a community spirit, a cheap and excellent lunch and some chat and some company for the local residents.
I think there have been some pretty notable successes. Thomas Street Bowling Club doing a fantastic job in a difficult area, opening up Crown Green Bowling to a different audience, a different group of people from the Asian community who do not traditionally have an engagement in Crown Green Bowling. They've done a great job in providing, first of all, a fantastic green space in that area, engaging people, and I think that their achievements were wonderfully recognised when they got the Queen's Award for voluntary service. I think also the Fair Share Trust can be proud of the work that was done up at Caldwell Activity Centre, and they are showing real improvements on how that centre is being used.
We've got broadcast quality cameras, we've got the 2 computers set up with the media editing suite and the software needed. And the groups that we've had in that have used it have made some YouTube videos that are about Bigfoot. And they've used this camera, we've got 2 handy cams and another couple of cameras down here, so they all learn about, you know, filming behind the camera and also acting on the camera.
Some of the other stuff has included some good work around English for speakers of other languages at SCAF, and much more recently I think with some real positive developments with Home Start Pendle, who have moved on from the project that we supported and have been successful in recent weeks in terms of bringing in additional resources to strengthen their activities in Pendle.
We've currently had funding from the Fair Share Trust. This is our second bout of funding. The first bout of funding was for 3 years for health development work in the FST area. And this one is to actually take health messages out to the community. The health messages now have become part of our core work, whereas before they weren't, although health is vital obviously to every family, but we never gave it the significance it needed, and it's now become embedded within the scheme. So the health messages are delivered through the prep course, organisers are aware of them, and the volunteers are trained up, and some of them go on to get additional training to become health champions. So that sort of really has been a driving force, and it's enabled us to source other funding as well because of the health messages, and it's also improved our relationship with the local PCT and the NHS as well, because we're singing obviously from the same hymn sheet and delivering a message that they're happy with. So that's been really, really useful.
Home Start's helped me to develop personally. After I finished university at the age of 40, I decided on a total career change, and I did lack confidence and experience in this area, and I read up on Home Start and realised that it was an excellent organisation, and volunteers were needed to help support families in the local community. So I thought it was something that would benefit myself and others.
It's helped me develop by the training that I've had, really, because that was quite impressive. It really equipped me to deal with the children that I have to deal with on my volunteering role. I'd brought already a lot of life skills with me, so there was a bit of overlap, but the children's side was very, very new to me.
Over the past 19 months, I've worked with 4 families, and 3 of those had children with severe disabilities. I do think we do make a big difference, and I think volunteering is vital to families who do go unsupported. And from all my experiences that I've gained from Home Start and all the people that work here, I feel totally motivated and confident that I've actually applied for a position to work as an activities advisor with them.
It's made me feel very happy. When I was working, I suppose I got that happiness and satisfaction from my job, but once I retired, I had nothing in my life until I did Home Start, really. And it was really great because I can get out there and help these families, and it keeps me active, it keeps me fit, mentally and physically.
Every family has problems, and I would say that Home Start could be involved in every family in the country, but okay, we limit ourselves to those that are referred to us, and I find it just interesting, almost exciting to see the way families come through. And as I say, I could relate 2 or 3 cases where my wife's been involved, and seeing the family, seeing that single parent being able to cope and improve, it's just exciting.
What do you think the legacy of your project will be in the future?
For us as a scheme, it'll be the fact that the health part of it has become embedded. The volunteer capacity building has become embedded, especially within this community. We had a particular challenge in terms of what's our calibre of volunteer. Well, as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a calibre. If someone's got parenting experience, if they can support families, if they've got the experience, we can provide the first stepping stone for them to improve their self-confidence and then to go on to obviously achieve. And that might be just the fact that they feel rewarded in that they've helped a family, or it might be that they've gone on to education or found work. And it is very, very rewarding when we get a family that have been supported who then go on to become a volunteer, and we've got several instances of that.
Over 3 years ago, we obtained a grant from Pendle Fair Share Trust.
Very close. Do we need a measure?
And from this, we have exceeded all our expectations. We've focused on introducing young people to the game of crown green bowling.
We've been coming to the bowling club now for about 8 years possibly. We first became involved through a contact at Marsden Heights who introduced us to the bowling club, and we bring 12 children down, approximately 12, for a 12-week block in spring and summer. The children absolutely love it. A lot of our children unfortunately come from very mixed backgrounds. We have a lot of ethnic minority children, children from fragmented homes, and we see it that the children come down here and they work together with the people from the bowling club, which is really important. Obviously they're all older people and they see them as like a granddad figure. They respect the people down here, and everybody works as a team. It's great.
This looks nice.
Can you tell me why you volunteered in this project working with young people?
Well, I think personally I volunteered because giving something back to kids for all years I've been bowling, enjoyment, and just hope that a few of them will carry on, carry it on. We've had quite a few that's been playing for years and years. It started small kids, now they're playing for county, and so I feel proud. And Dale weren't so bad. Dale, I mean...
It's mine.
Well, it was my granddad, he like introduced me and then it started from there.
Right. So your granddad was a big bowls player then?
Yeah, and he were also coaching, so could help.
So, but what made you personally get involved? What interests you about bowling?
Well, it's like all the people that come and you get a lot of friends and it's just interesting to be around other people that enjoy it as well.
I think it will carry on because some of them that's going now, I think they will take over when we retire.
Do you think as you get older you're going to continue playing?
Yeah, I think I will do because I enjoy it, so.
We first of all looked at developing a project and approached the Fair Share Trust. The issues that we found out on the ground were that a lot of neighbourhoods have become disengaged and also neighbours not having an understanding of local people, the people who live next door to them. And what we wanted to do was try and re-engage communities in becoming whole again and re-engaging them in looking after each another.
The neighbourhood or the community in control is basically it's adapting the ABCD approach to community development, where community development officers primarily have always gone in the past and said this is what we think you need, but using the ABCD approach it's asking the community what do they need in their own community, and it's also building up on the assets that are already based in the community, as for example neighbours working with each other, sharing experiences, sharing skills and knowledge with other residents in that particular area. Some residents don't want to actually share knowledge with residents far away in their area, but they're willing to share experiences and knowledge with neighbours close by.
Challenges have really been around engagement, getting people who lead busy lifestyles to actually stop and engage with the process, recognising that asset-based community development is actually about them. It's about their knowledge, their skills, their experiences, which they can bring to neighbourhood activities. Bearing in mind we're talking about social behaviour as opposed to antisocial behaviour, and getting them to engage and support the next door neighbours or the neighbours within their very small communities.
We've changed our tactics slightly to engage the community. What we're trying to do now is actually do door knocking, and we've narrowed the streets of Southfield down slightly as to maybe a dozen streets at the maximum at the moment to just basically knock on the doors and tell the residents what we're doing, what we're wanting to do, and if they want to get involved.
We're looking to have two legacy outcomes in this. First of all, that with a small pilot of assisting people with their asset-based community development, to be able to roll that out beyond the very small area they've been working in. And of course, having the beneficiaries themselves, the people who've engaged in this, telling other people how easy it is and how simple it is to get involved in helping their neighbours. We're not looking to reinvent the wheel. We're not looking to set up new structures. What we're looking to do is to engage those people with existing structures at a neighbourhood level.
The project was working in conjunction with the Fair Share Trust, and what we, in discussion with a lot of the neighbours, we found one of the things that people were depressed about was the number of boarded up houses in the area. It was making them feel that, you know, the area was going downhill, and so we wanted to try and do something about it. We came up, after lots of discussions with lots of different groups, we came up with an idea of finding some nice windows and doors on the street, taking pictures of them, and then producing a board, superimposing that picture on it, and covering up the boarded house, as you see behind me, which has been a real success and very well received by the neighbours. It means that, for instance, if you live opposite, you're looking out, it looks like you're looking out at a house that people are living in rather than a boarded up house.
For if people are trying to rent a house and they're next to one of these, trying to rent it, well, you'd feel better moving into next door to this than one that's all got steel shutters and looks, you know, like it's going to rack and ruin. I think some of the challenges have been working with different groups and also working with different people to try and get to actually get on with the project and get something happening. That was quite a challenge. But certainly the highs have been seeing one done, seeing that we're going to get some more rolling out soon, and having feedback from neighbours who've said how excited and how pleased they were to see it. Certainly the neighbourhood has responded to it very well. And we did a street clean-up last week, and on a Thursday evening, and quite a lot of the neighbours were out and they were all giving us good feedback. But the street cleaners actually walked past it without even recognising that it was there, which was a real thumbs up. So I'm very pleased with it so far.
My colleague and I applied for funding from the Fair Share Trust. That came at a really good time because we're at a stage where the building was newly refurbished, and the £37,000 enabled us to appoint a member of staff so that the building was staffed between the hours of 9 till 5 on a daily basis.
If we hadn't got the Fair Share Trust funding, it would have taken us a lot longer to get to the point where we are now, because in only 3 years, which is a very short space of time, we've moved from staff literally coming down, opening up the building, running a couple of sessions across a week, locking the building back up again, to the building being open 9 to 5 core working hours for us, but then also 3 evenings a week with additional groups from youth theatre and judo, samba drumming upon occasion. So that, for us, has really accelerated the growth of the project, where we perhaps wouldn't have had that growth, certainly within that sort of very short 3-year time period, really.
We've got wide programmes of groups and services available for families with very young children, leading on to opportunities with adult ed. And we've got people that have moved on from adult learning to volunteering, and then have ended up being full-time employees with the Children's Centre.
In terms of the wider community, the impact's been sort of felt, you know, quite far and wide, really, because within this part of Pendle, there's not many other services offering what we offer. We don't only have families coming from within our own area, we have families coming from outside of those wards that we previously mentioned as well, to access the opportunities here, because they're struggling to access elsewhere. So for us, it's kind of grown the centre beyond, you know, even beyond our area that we kind of commissioned to work within, really. So for us, it's sort of looking at sustaining where we are, but also being able to grow where we are as well. So we will be seeking sort of additional funding to support the work that we do. So we have recently been successful in some funding that will be helpful.
The feedback that we've got says that a good 39% of the area of benefit, which is the 3 wards, were aware of the Fair Share Trust in Pendle, which is a good achievement. But we've had feedback from local residents and neighbours in response saying, you know, what a difference that the project has made to them as individuals. You know, the work with some of the organisations has helped people to feel more confident and happier about the area that they live in.
Okay.
Are you very happy in your job?
I'm very happy, yes. Thank you very much. Good. Would you like a tea or a coffee?
All the projects are still ongoing, and they've taken the lessons that they've learned and the benefits that have been achieved from having Fair Share Trust money in those 3 wards to be able to expand and successfully deliver services throughout Pendle.